All right, burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war. MTG Burgeoning community, welcome to Sunday Fun Day. I've been talking about it all week since we brought it up on the 1st of October that Sunday is Fun Day, and I was not exaggerating. Welcome to all things Morophon the Boundless. Sunday is dedicated to all things Morophon, and we're going to start by introducing our most popular shapeshifter. From Modern Horizons, Morophon the Boundless is a 7 casting cost, 6/6 legendary shapeshifter with the changeling mechanic. As Morophon the Boundless enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type we cast cost white, blue, black, red, green, less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana we pay, and other creatures we control of the chosen type get +1/+1. A quick check over at edhrec.com shows that Morophon currently is the general commander leader of over 3 dozen tribal decks. Sunday is Fun Day, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to build so many different variations of Morophon the Boundless with so many different creature types and so many different tribes. Why? As I said already, and it's been beaten to death by the pun machine, Sunday is Fun Day. So Morophon the Boundless is our Sunday dude, or our Sunday woman, or our Sunday anything. Morophon is all things. So, what are we going to start with? Well, let's roll out a dozen or so. Well, we'll say a dozen. Let's roll out a dozen cards that are going to be considered some tribal staples in most Morophon builds. Some more specific to the first build that we're going to do, and let's see how many cards it'll take before we spoil the direction of this deck. Number 1, Urza's Incubator. For 3, this artifact, as it enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type. Does that sound familiar, big guy? Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast. So Morophon already reduces the colored mana, and now Urza's Incubator will reduce the colorless or generic mana spent on whatever creature types we choose to build, around which we choose to build. That is number 1. Number 2, Herald's Horn. An artifact that costs 3 as it enters the battlefield, we choose a creature type. Theme. Creature spells we cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of our upkeep, we look at the top card of our library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, we may reveal it and put it into our hand. This gives us some kind of sporadic card draw. It's unfortunate that our opponents get to see what's going into our hand, but they're not going to be in our hand for very long because we're going to get them out onto the battlefield. So Herald's Horn is number 2. All things Morophon. Sunday Fun Day. Card number 3, Vanquisher's Banner. This artifact from Ixalan costs 5, and when it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1 that we control, of course, and whenever we cast a spell, a creature spell of the chosen type, we can draw a card. So Vanquisher's Banner buffs our creatures, and whenever we cast one of them, we can draw a card. Very powerful in the right tribal deck. Number 3. Okay, so still no guesses over how many dozens and dozens of tribes could there be. Oh, baby, I don't know. I think we're going to have to go with our next card, and that is Distant Melody. For 3 and a blue, choose a creature type. Draw a card for each permanent we control of that type. The perfect tribal card draw as long as we got blue. And Morophon brings all 5 colors, so we're throwing blue in, and we're going to draw cards based upon the number that we have, a number of creatures we have in play of our chosen type. Have we thought about what it is yet? No? Oh, well, we're getting closer. All right, card number 5. Kindred Discovery, 3 and 2 blue. As it enters the battlefield again, we choose a creature type. Whenever a creature we control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Now we have to be careful with this card, and we have to watch out for putting this card in particular tribal builds. You don't want to put this in every tribal build, specifically because it's not a may clause to draw that card. Kindred Discovery forces you to do that, and I will attest to seeing this card deck an owner. Yes, I have seen that happen. It didn't happen to me, so it didn't feel bad to me, but I know it felt bad to that player. This will not be that type of deck, so we do not have to worry about Kindred Discovery acting as a win condition for our opponents, but boy, oh boy, is it a powerful card draw spell. And the rightful place of being the 5th card added to this Morophon build. All right, sticking with the theme of Commander 2017 and its Kindred cycle, we come across Kindred Summons, 5 and 2 green. This instant says choose a creature type. Boy, we got a lot of those, haven't we? More fun, baby. Choose a creature type. Reveal cards from the top of our library until we reveal X creature cards of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures we control of that type. Put those cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into our library. This is fantastic if we have haste enablers in play. This is terrific if we cast it on end of turn right before we untap. Kindred Summons is a fantastically powerful tribal card. All right, so what brings us up next? The next card is Door of Destinies. As Door of Destinies enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever we cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on Door of Destinies, and creatures we control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies. This is great if we're casting spells. Our creatures are going to get bigger. They're just going to become more and more threats with the more times that we cast them. Door of Destinies is card number 7. Next up, from Core 2020, we have Icon of Ancestry. For 3, as it enters the battlefield, there's that line again, choose a creature type. Creatures we control of the chosen type get +1/+1. Additionally, we can tap 3 and tap this and look at the top 3 cards of our library. We may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them and put it into our hand. We put the rest on the bottom of our library in a random order. So kind of similar to Herald's Horn, this gives us some additional sporadic card draw. But still, in order to dig through the top 3 cards of our library to pull out a creature in order to cast for any of our awesome spells down here, Icon of Ancestry is a great card to include in a tribal build. And that's exactly what we're doing here. All right, next up, card number 9. We have Cathar's Crusade. From Avacyn Restored, this enchantment costs 3 and double white, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, we put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control. Very powerful. The counters go on every creature. It's not a temporary +1/+1 buffing until end of turn. These are counters that stick and stay on the creatures, and the more creatures we have, the more counters we get dispersed around our army. Cathar's Crusade, Avacyn Restored. Love Avacyn Restored. Alright, so you're probably guessing, well, what's the creature type? What are we building around in this inaugural Sunday Funday EDH Commander deck build? Well, you're not going to figure it out yet. Card number 10, Lifecrafters Bestiary. For 3, this artifact from Ether Revolt says at the beginning of our upkeep, we scry 1. Whenever we cast a creature spell, we may pay a green, and if we do, draw a card. So there's a little bit more work in this with this spell as opposed to a Vanquisher's Banner, a Kindred Discovery. We actually have to tap some mana in order to draw that spell, but the scrying at the beginning of our upkeep is very beneficial. So Lifecrafters Bestiary is going to get a chance in this Morophon build. So if we take a moment here to pause, and I did say we were going to do around 12 or so cards, so we do have 2 more cards remaining. If we look at these first 10 cards in so many different types of tribal builds, tribal matters decks, these 10 cards here, these 10 may be some of the most important and synergistic and powerful for all tribes. And that's because they can apply to all tribes. So in future Morophon builds, this pot of cards here may stay the same. It may cycle out depending on what we're doing, but I did want to highlight that the first 10 cards that we're including on Sunday Funday are definitely cards that can be considered for any EDH tribe, as long as Morophon is the commander because he provides all 5 colors. Okay, well, of course, if any of the commanders that are 5 colors, like, any of the legendary slivers or the elemental guy, the Horde of Notions, but this is Sunday Funday, so we're going to not talk about those other 5 color legendary guys. This is all about Morophon. All right, so card number 11. And the instant we reveal this card, we're going to see exactly what we're going to build in this inaugural deck. And it is, we're back to Avacyn Restored. It's an uncommon. It's 2 and a blue. It's a sorcery. And it's Mass Appeal. Draw a card for each human we control. Yes, our first inaugural, our first build or our inaugural build. That's from the Redundancy Department of Redundancy. Our first Morophon build is going to be humans. So we tap 2 and a blue, draw a card for each human we control. For the purposes of this deck, this is a superior draw spell to Distant Melody, but for the drama and the build-up, I decided to keep it towards the end so that we could keep everyone there in the community guessing as to what the first Morophon build would be. Well, here it is, card 11, we're building Morophon humans. Mass Appeal, a great card to add as number 11. This brings us to our last card in this human Morophon build, and here it is. It's Angel of Glory's Rise. Again, Avacyn Restored. What an awesome set Avacyn Restored is. Avacyn Restored, baby. So for 5 and 2 white, this is a 4/6 Angel with Flying, and when it enters the battlefield, exile all zombies, then return all human creature cards from our graveyard to the battlefield. Now, I don't know how often the first ability will click in exiling zombies from the battlefield. I mean, zombies are a very popular tribe. It wouldn't surprise me sitting down at a table, someone pulls out a zombie tribal deck or has some kind of zombies already out there. However, being able to have all of our humans return from our graveyard into play, this is our own personalized Patriarch's Bidding. And for just a couple extra colorless mana and putting it on a body, Angel of Glory's Rise does a better job for us than Patriarch's Bidding would, because that way we don't have to worry about our opponents having any tribal decks and sneaking their creatures from the graveyard into play. So for card number 12, Angel of Glory's Rise, you are aces in our book. And Morophon does appreciate the assistance. Okay, so here we have our first 12 cards of this Morophon Humans EDH Commander build. So, with the release of Zendikar Rising, there are now over 2,500 human creature cards throughout Magic history. That is a big pool. That is the shaboom boom. So to narrow this build down, we're going to throw some restrictions on the humans that I want to see entering into this EDH Commander deck. So let's lay out some limitations as to what suggestions are going to be eligible for the humans we're going to put in to be hanging out with Morophon on Sundays. Restriction number 1, no multiple color mana symbols in the casting cost of any human creature cards. So example, if Angel of Glory's Rise for some reason was a human, the double white would disqualify her eligibility for being included in this deck. Morophon reduces the casting cost by a white, a blue, a black, a red, or a green. It doesn't double it. So let's try to take advantage and maximize the casting costs of our humans. No multiple color symbols for any humans to be included in this deck. Restriction number 2. No mana cost greater than 2 colorless or generic mana. So for example, if for some reason Urza's Incubator was a human and had 3 in its casting cost, it would be disqualified for eligibility in this deck. It has to be 2 or less. And that is, as a great example, Urza's Incubator reduces the casting costs of our creatures, our humans, by 2. Herald's Horn does that with 1. So nothing more than 2. So those are our first 2 restrictions. No multiple color mana symbols that are the same. No double white, no double blue, no double green, so on and so forth. They can be like blue, green, red, white, black. That's fine, but no multiples. Restriction 2, no generic mana symbol 2 or higher. No generic mana symbol higher than 2. Last restriction, restriction number 3, no commons. No common humans. So that's 3 restrictions. I want to hear all of your suggestions for humans to bring in. No multiple color mana symbols, no converted mana cost, or no mana cost with 2 generic mana, with higher than 2 generic mana, and no common humans. Leave me some suggestions in the comments. Leave me some suggestions over at tappedout.net. And I hope that we are going to enjoy Sunday Fun Day every day, because when you're rolling with Morophon, baby, he is more fun every day of the week. This is MTG Burgeoning, and this is Sunday Fun Day. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description, or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2, select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.